Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and we're taking another look at this hybrid AAP-01 from TAPP Airsoft. If you haven't seen it already, I did a video on how to install this thing and get it built. It's a HPA hybrid lower kit, so you've got a HPA feed and then you just feed it ARP-9 mag. So this is actually like a quad stack mag, which they do stick out really far. However, I've ordered more of these, and I've ordered a bunch, like 5 or 6 of the small ones, which don't stick out as far. So they'll only come to about here, which is a much better sort of size if you're trying to be agile. But they still hold like 68 rounds, so they're going to be a good addition. But before we get to that and we start looking at those ARP mags, I was looking at this the other day, and we've done a few AAP videos, and I was like, we've got parts that never went anywhere, especially this, which, if you remember, this was a spare upper that I was building for the Infinite kit, but I've got a lower here that hasn't got any fancy stuff on the top, so we're going to be converting this over. I suppose more of a need to find out whether it needs any other parts ordering as well, because we might need hop and barrel and stuff like that. But I thought for today we can get started and get these bits converted over. So fortunately, I already have a bolt which is scratched up because the CTM quality control is not very good on these, but it's got the ghost ring sights, it's got a bolt, it's got a lever, it's got a selector. So everything here is pretty much good to go. Really, we only need the barrel parts, and then we can start thinking about upgrading it. Put like a Loki in there, flamingo rubber, get a barrel for it, so we can actually build this onto this hybrid and have it as a complete thing, rather than me just having spare parts lying around. So very easy to pull apart. We can pull out the barrel just with the two 2mm countersunk screws. This one's a 1.5, so these are slightly smaller, and the Aramax screwdriver is making very light work of this. And basically see what we want to do, because I'm not going to leave this silver, don't worry, because I think the silver is a bit garish, but at the time when I bought it, it was the best colour that I could get at the time. And this very simply just goes in here. And like I said before, these CTM parts, this is more of the earlier parts, but the quality of them doesn't reflect the price, I don't think. I think it's more to do with maybe the materials they use. So they've got like a low grade of aluminium, and it's got this really like mold effect, and they've got like sharp edges, and you can just tell the quality of the metal isn't as nice. I mean, like, look at that there. And I think this was like 80-90 quid, maybe even more, so not cheap at all. So we can put this in, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Is that screw gonna reach? Wrong screwdriver. Go back to a 2mm. And hopefully this upper does make sense on this pistol. So we've got some nice open ghost ring sights, which are going to give us nice fast target acquisition. And it's very garish with the silver. I did go with the sort of the compensator that's sort of meant to be seamless, but it's different thicknesses, so it kind of emphasizes the join. But I'm hoping that we can maybe build it out, and it would be nice, and someone else has asked me about this recently, about doing solid cylindrical uppers for these that don't have these steps in them, and do it one piece but make it really nice like Volquartz and do it instead of putting all these, you know, ports and stuff in there. I suppose we should give this a go. Have I got any air? The regulator. So I do. Oh, I've got a tiny bit of air left. Let's see if we can get out anything out of this. Because we're planning to go to HC2 Airsoft this weekend, and I think this might be too low on the air. And my idea was to not take a rifle, but just take a couple of pistols. And I thought, well, I could take the Infinite kit. I could take the hybrid kit and use both of them for the day, and just run around like an idiot with a pistol, because it's a very up close, very CQB orientated sight, and hopefully have a bit of a blast without having to take a ton of gear, because they are limited to 2.5s at that site, which I don't use, and I've been having issues with 2.5s in my MWSs lately, so I don't really want to run into any issues with that. So we're at 110 PSI. Very snappy. Very rapid. Much more of a high cycle rate compared to the standard upper, because we've got obviously short stroke kits and such in there. We can test the power. Do I have any BBs? Do we have any BBs? We do have a few BBs. I think these are 0.2s. Not that we'd be using this on full auto at all in CQB, but we'll test this quad stack out. Just push that BB in. This isn't completely filled up. I'm going to do my chrono. There it is. We need to go to a 0.2 and see what the power's like at 110. We might have to dial it back a little bit. Here we go. So we're at 1.1 joules, so we would need to dial that back. Let's try it. Oh, it's actually jumped up to 120 psi. Let's dial it back a little bit. So we are hovering around 80, I believe. Right, I've cleared that overpressure, so we're at 50, 60, 70, 80. Now I wouldn't run it on 80 doing full auto, but I think with, let's see, it might be a bit low. So we're at 0.8 joules there, so we can go a little bit higher. Let's take it up to 100, which should be better. Very consistent, and we are bang on a joule. We are shooting 0.2s, so we would have to factor in with the 2.5s if I can get some beforehand. If not, we'll have to do it on the day, but it needs a nice trigger because this static trigger sucks. And we're empty, and then we've obviously got rounds still in the kit, so you can either press the latch to dump them out, which is what I recommend, or you can try loading them in and firing it upside down. I've seen people do this. I don't recommend it because it is a little bit of a risk, and sometimes it doesn't work like that. So you just get a tool on the latch. We just push it like that. We take the BBs out. Check it's clear. The way we do that is we take the mag. Make sure the mag's out, take the BBs out, and you can see straight through the feed tube know it's empty. It will also be a good test of how the air, how much air we get through. And these quad stacks are weird because they sound like they've got stuff in, but they haven't. So how much air I get through. So my idea is go very minimalistic kit. Maybe just like a chest rig to hold the mags. Don't need holsters because I don't really need to use them. And basically take these two bad boys and run them nice and quick. Can we test this one? Much nice trigger on this one, which I need to tune so I can adjust the screw so it's much closer and, you know, much more of a hair trigger. I've had to dial it back because when I was originally trying to put this in holsters, if you adjust the triggers on these AAP-01s to get like that, where it's really nice, you can't then put it in the holsters because the holster has to fit around the trigger guard. It's super annoying. We can just quickly test this one. So I've got some 0.2s in this. The nice thing about this over the hybrid is you've got lock on empty because it uses these like different mags. Let's see what we're running at on a 2. Much lower at 0.6 joules because we've got a barrel that's literally like this long, or like this long. So we're going to get lower power out of it. So we're at 0.6 on a 2. This one does jaw creep on heavy ammo because I remember setting this up on some like 3s and 4s. We can just quickly test 120. So it's still about 0.7 joules. Not that it will matter. Again, we've got a very short barrel. When this does have heavy BBs in, which we're not allowed to use at the site anyway, I don't know if you saw that there, but when we're empty, it locks. So we take the mag out, put a fresh one in, we drop it. Oh. I think the pressure's going in the tank now. So yeah, we've got less than 1,000 psi. What was I saying? So yeah, I normally set this up for like heavy BBs like 3s and 4s, which we do get a bit of jaw creep out of it, which means we don't have to run as high PSI as this one. But, you know, at least we know we're safe. So if I do switch to this, I mean, at 10 meter engagement range, it's really not going to make a difference. But yeah, what do you think? Should I go, because I could take my camera and record a bit of footage. So should I go and take a couple of unique pistols like this, or should I just go as I normally do and take a gas blowback? Maybe we could run the Ghetto Blaster because I haven't ran this in a game yet. That could be interesting. Obviously, it'll be a lot more fun with the blowback. So maybe I'll take the pistols and take an MWS or 2 in case I get bored. But yeah, we could even try some of the Simus. I mean, that's the problem now. I've got so much choice, and you know, shotguns like these are perfect for such an environment. This Simus CGS is so small that getting around the tight doorways and such. I've got no gas in that, so we could run that as well. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know down below, and I'll take it into consideration. Maybe you do want to see this stuff. Maybe you want to see this stuff. So hopefully they allow cameras in there. I'm sure they do. We can record a bit of footage. It's probably not going to be the most exciting thing, because it's going to be really up close CQB. But we'll get out there and have a bit of fun rather than spending all our time building custom guns. So thanks for tuning into this video. Sorry it's been a a weird one again, but I think this does look kind of better than the standard one. Now, we might not go for this at all. And the beauty about this hybrid and the other ones is I can take the lower off and we can go full Joker and run it like this, which looks absolutely crazy, doesn't it? Maybe we just have a pistol day and I'll take a bunch of pistols because we've got the Maruis. We've got all this funky stuff. We've got the TP22, we've got the FN-509. This thing, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. It's like every time I pick it up, it does something else. But very garish, isn't it? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in as always. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord. Link will be down in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the latest videos, and we'll be seeing you in some more coming up. But for now, from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.